Now, to retip your blade, we have to knock the old teeth off first. So we stick them in a vise. Heat your tooth up, your old tooth, to take it off till it gets nice and red. Wire brush, clean your seat up just with a stainless steel wire brush. And that's all you have to do. Once the tooth's been heated up, you do have to run your heat down here a bit so you transfer the heat down there while it's cooling down. When you go to retip a saw blade, this one here is already pre-tinted. This one here has taken the tint off. That enables you to set it up to make sure your seat's right on your tooth. To put your retipping jig in, it's the one with a hole there. Put your bolt through and wind him on tight. With these retipping jigs, they're already preset at the factory, so they are not recommended we move them. Leave them where they are. Now, get your one with the no tint on it. You put your tooth, as your set tooth, in position. Sit in there and hold it back up to your seat. If it's not sitting in the seat there, we get a file up on the back side of the seat until that sits nice and even in there. When you go to retip your blades and you put your teeth on that are pre-tinted, always put a bit of flux on your tooth, because you always have grease on your fingers and you don't want that going onto the tooth. Place the tooth in position, lift him up, and it's sitting there. Then we solder him on. Light your oxy. When you go to heat this up, I like to heat the tooth first, get it so it's nice and red. Start applying a bit of pressure, and as the tooth gets red, you can see the solder, and then you heat the tooth up, the seat up, and that's soldered on. That's all you have to do. Keep the pressure on there for a minute, take that off, take your jig off, then as that's cooling, you apply a little bit of heat here so your heat transfers back out and it's not on the end of the tooth. You don't want the tooth fracturing there, so that's why we apply a little bit of heat there. And that's all there is to retipping.